Good morning, Chris. I can actually hear you a little bit here this morning. Let me hold on here. Make sure everything is right. Just getting up here, getting moving. Good morning, Craig, Jerry. I think Kevin's in there, Z and I. I've just tuned in right as you started transmitting, Craig. And I thought I heard, well, I walked in the room right as you started transmitting, Craig. I thought I heard Z and I in there, but so I might be wrong. But anyway, still trying to get up. The coffee ain't done yet. And I'd be anxious to know what rig you're on this morning, Craig. Definitely sounds different than what you've been running. Sounds good, though, nevertheless. 37 degrees here in southeastern Pennsylvania this morning. Just messing around with my audio last night, so hopefully it sounds okay. Just trying to take some harshness out of the sibilance of my S's, so hopefully it sounds alright. Back over to you, Chris, and I'll snuggle in and jump into rotation here. AJ1G in the group W3MMR.
He checked out, Chris. He said he was going to bed. Let me see if I have it. Okay, yeah, he was having trouble with you and Craig both too. The last segment, yeah, I think the 36 hours was getting to him. It was K9GAS. And good morning, Perry. But I think he said it was time for the rack. And yeah, I'll tell you, I know you pulled a few too, Craig, and back in my younger days, that was kind of common. I think my longest stretch was 42 hours, and it got so bad, I had to write notes for myself so that if I dozed off, I could remember what the heck I was doing. You know, that's, I tell you, you do all that for people, and you learn that nobody cared. That was just stupid. But that was the youngster of me, you know, thinking, yeah, I'll be the hero here and keep things going. And, you know, they're probably laughing as they're sitting at home and drinking coffee and watching TV with their family or something. But, yeah, I grew up since then. I don't do that anymore. Because, again, nobody cares in the long run. So, but yeah, I tell you, Kevin, but he does that, I think, for his weekends. He's trying to keep himself where he can work that all-night shift. I think that's his shift. He starts at 11, his route. But, man, I don't know if I could do that anymore. I was many years ago when I was rotating those shifts in Ralston Marina like that, and it just felt like all you do is work and sleep. Kind of like, I think, your comment, Craig, sometimes the way your shifts go like that, yeah, it's all you feel like you're doing is you're there, or when you're home, you're in bed. When you get up, you're back over there again. And it's not much home life, but part of the process, I guess. Anyway, Craig, on the cameras, yeah, I wondered about that. You got some nice sets up there, and yeah, I don't know if you had issues there where you were. Seems like I imagine everyone kind of knows each other possibly, but yeah, you never know anymore about people traveling through. We get that a lot more here now, and I lost 2 ticket items that way. A billy goat, yard parking lot vacuum, it's $1,800, by a snowblower. And when the billy goat disappeared, I had a tracking device for the snowblower, but they got it before I got on there. So, yeah, I'm telling you, it seems like people are traveling around looking for places like that now. So I thought I wished I had some sort of a security. I got the lights and everything out there, but, that doesn't really make any difference anymore. People are bold and brazen. 2 doors down, the guy lost his money in his wallet. But I thought, why do you leave that stuff in your vehicle all night? That makes no sense. And I had to get on my wife. She was real bad about that. She's lost her purse twice. Well, I just stepped out for a minute, and I said, well, it takes them seconds. I said, carry that with you all the time. I got angry the second time, but yeah, I don't keep anything in my truck. The front windows is for nothing, but and nothing visible. But anyway, yeah, I just you hate that even happens. On that other 2 items, my next thing, and I had it all ready. I had a 500-volt little transformer for slow modulation circuit, and I was going to wire that to the snowblower. Turn that on at night, put a grounding pad that they wouldn't, until they stepped on it, it would give them that bite. But I thought, then they'll sue me, So I didn't do that. My wife talked me out of that, but I sure wanted to. I wanted to make him hurt real bad taking that thing. Anyway, over to you, Craig. KB2RHR in the group. I think you're just about ready to hit the door. I'm about ready to go back to bed. K9GAS.
KK4GZQ. Morning.
There's Kevin. There's Kentucky. I'll turn it over to Kentucky here in a second. Yeah, I'm going to run out of here. Let's see what the comment on there. Yeah, well, the security cameras, yeah, they're nice, man. I've not really, caught any mischief, although I've been in here and watched a guy go with a gas can back toward my tractor. And then subsequently there was a pistol in my hand about 2 seconds after I saw that. And I was like, go ahead, touch it. Please touch it. But he was looking for some gas. And he didn't find any here. Because if you're going to sneak in my backyard and try to steal my gas out of my big tractor, that's when you have a problem. And I see some pretty cool stuff on it. But I use it. I mean, yeah, I got one on the front door. All the places that are supposed to be, but I've got 2 here outside the shack. And one goes on the towers. the deer. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's nice to have, and yeah, my neighbors watch out, you know. But one time, I pulled in the driveway and I saw this guy standing there on my towers. I didn't know what he was doing. A rigger in hand, and I think he might have had to change his defense when he got home. So I'm pretty sure it scared the crap out of him. And I was like, well, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I'm a ham radio operator. I said, that's nice. I said, I really don't care, but you're trespassing on my property. You never know, man. You just never know. So, but yeah, the POE, it's not a POE. It's like a POE injector. They're not power over Ethernet, but they're cabled. And just like everything else, you know, 2 years later, and that model's been discontinued. The 4 new models, and you could never get the right parts, and I hate rerunning cameras, man. I don't want to do that. So I'm in the process of just searching for either a whole complete system that somebody stockpiled, and I'll just buy it, and I'll have all kind of parts, or the POE injector. It's not really POE, it's camera. But they're nice. I'm serious. I mean, for what they go for now, Jerry, you'd be crazy. It's come with the cable and everything. All you do is run them, prop them right into the DVR. And I've used the DVR a few times to see what's been going on around here. So, pretty cool. And Perry, I'm on the solid state room today because I'm lazy. So this is the 7600. It's narrow. It's the audio is probably not much, but I'm in here, so that's it. And I'm on the loop, which is no better yet. So that's the story. Let's see. Yeah, Chris, I would like to get a good trail camera. Or basically like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, I guess. So if I had it close enough to the house, I could get the pictures right on my computer. But I haven't really jumped into that. There's only a few things I want pictures of is coyotes and bobcats. And down in the field, trying to get a couple pictures of those guys. But that's all really. They're expensive now. Those ones you don't really have to go check, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or whatever. But I don't know, maybe someday I'll get that. Anyway, guys, I gotta get cracking here. Go check on the children. So check this out. One and done here. 3 guys. Everybody sounds great here this morning, and we'll look for you all later. Over to you, Chris. AJ1G, KB2RHR, 73 guys. Or Kevin.
He turned it over to you, Kev.
Okay, Perry. Chris is transmitting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to come in here and pick it up if you don't mind. AJ1G in the group, KK4GZQ. Morning, everybody. And thanks, Perry. And Perry, Chris tried to turn it over to you, but your dad showed up. Morning, Frank. W3MMR. I'm going to actually throw it up to Frank and see if Frank can toss it over to you, Perry. And, boy, I'm searching for words here. I'm kind of like Jerry. Still out there in left field. Need another cup of coffee, I think. Anyway, had the shack torn completely apart here yesterday. 250 TH on the 610 took a dive on me. Had to get in there and move the transmitter out and get inside of it and get all the B plus out of there and make sure I'm going to get killed in there replacing the tube, and I baked the tube in. I've got a Variac here. And I baked the tube for about 5 or 6 hours, and it's putting out good power. I've got it over here on dummy load. And it's putting out it's putting out the same power, or maybe a little more, at less PA plate current. Instead of about 210 or 20 milliamp, it's about 200 or maybe just slightly less. So, hey, that's a good thing. Here it comes, Frank. Good morning to you. I'm on the Ranger with the AL 1200 here for a little help that way. W2SPR to go to W3MMR, KK4GZQ. Morning, everybody. Hello, Frank. Perry, I believe your dad took off.
Yeah, it looks that way. Hold on 1 second here. Look at something here. Alright. Yeah, band's doing some weird things. Chris was copyable here at first, and Craig was 25 over, and then they both just fell completely out of my radio. So the band's doing some changing here this morning, but nevertheless, good morning, Kevin. 7-3, Craig. Have a great day at work. Something's going on with my hand this morning, my arm, my right arm. Like, I'm having a hard time gripping a pen and writing. Like, it's not pain, it's just my arm's really tired, you know? I don't know if I slept on it wrong or what. Like, you know, when I go to... It's almost like it's kind of asleep, but there's no pins and needles, you know? And it's not numb. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But I'm having a hard time, like, writing. It's weird. I don't know if it's... you know, working on cars for 18 years catching up to me, or I slept on it wrong. Let's hope it's the latter and I just slept on it wrong. So, anyway, Ranger's sounding great this morning, Kevin. Sounding real good up here. Great signal here locally. No issues. And good morning, Jerry. Always sounding great, buddy. Big signal over this way as well. And unfortunately, like I said, having a problem with Chris this morning. So hopefully things will straighten out here in a bit. But nevertheless, good morning, everyone. Hopefully my arm figures out what's going on today. I gotta go to Lowe's when they open. I gotta buy some Lexan. So I'm building a double balanced tuner here, and I rolled the inductors, and I'm gonna use Lexan, spacers. And wind the inductors through 4 on each inductor to keep the pieces of the tubing at exactly a 1/4 inch spacing all the way through, and make them nice and stable, and so they'll hold form real well, and also have something to mount to the piece of wood, so on and so forth. So almost got everything here for that. The braid, 1/2 inch braid, will be here today, and I'm just waiting for the vacuum capacitor to come from Israel. So they said that could take 1 to 3 weeks to get here, because I didn't pay the extra money for the expedited shipping, which would have brought it here in a week for an extra $25, which I should have just paid the extra $25, but hopefully it'll be here sooner rather than later, especially with the holidays coming up here. So I'll turn. All right, this is where I just want to put the order out there, how I have it now, and I guess if that's okay with you guys, we'll keep it that way. Get AJ1G, turn it over to you, Kevin, and then Kevin will turn it over to me if my father's not in there. And then I'll turn it over to you, Jerry, and then back up to Chris, if that works out for you guys. That's how I got it written down here anyway. Back up to you, Jerry. Good morning. K9GAS in the group W3MMR.
Okay, pause, see if Frank might jump back in. Give it a little and 7-3 is Craig. I'm sure he's already out the door. I think he's kept that indent on there. But good morning to you, and Kevin, seeing he's off the bed. So, and Kevin, it sounds like you're on your track to get it back in line. So you never know. Part of your problem with the way that signal was. It's surprising what a bad tube can do. And that may have been part of the issue, that being on the way out, so that alone may clean it up some. But it'll be interesting to hear you when you get it all back in line. And but the antibiotics, so you've got plenty of stuff to work with there. So anyway, but and I heard Steve's report on that. Try your D104 in the back of that thing. You'll be surprised it may work out just fine with that preamp because of the impedance. That's going to put more strength on. It's a little different animal when you're not feeding these things into the either the grids and use some balanced audio, but just keep your levels low and bring them up slow, and you might be surprised if they work out just fine for you without spending more money. So try that first. When you're feeding through the audio system, it's always a touchy situation. I've done that with the Ranger and Valiant. It's doable, but it's real touchy. I don't know if you remember, was having a problem. One time he's good, next time he's overdriving it because it's a hairline between good and bad. When you're feeding them that way, but it does work. And anyway, look forward to hearing that. But you would be better off. If you're going to do all that, then get a couple of 100K 5-watt resistors and just start feeding the grids of those modulators and bypass the audio circuit all together. And then it'll really sound good because that's how those PC rigs are done. I did that rig that Craig has now with Robert's instruction. I've done the Valiants and Viking tunes that way, just bypass everything that's inside it. But you don't want to go through that right now. Just try that. So anyway, let's see. Maybe you need to exercise that. Have a few arm pull-ups with a cup of coffee. Maybe that'll straighten. Youngster, but you're getting older too. Those things start showing up out of the blue. And, it's just kind of a combination of all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, if it persists, you might stop to see the doctor, but it sounds like it's just what that is right there. I've had that happen, but we work hard and do all that stuff in combination, sleep wrong. This isn't good. This didn't used to be this way. The next thing you know, you're going to be buying mattresses after mattresses, trying to get comfortable because you're getting old. Just giving you a hard time. Chris, man, I hate to hear about that break-in. Holy cow. And, I don't know. I've told my wife, boy, just be careful of some of these nutballs out there, but, I don't want to give her up. I got a shotgun, she probably hurt herself with that, but, I don't know. I'm real conscious if I'm somewhere else about how these things are locked up, and But you just never know anymore. I know it's always a fact. But I'm glad it turned out the person just ran out the door. Yeah, we have that here more and more often, which surprises me because Indiana's like Texas. I mean, everyone's packing. But we're starting to see more and more on the news where intruders are now dead because people stick them right inside their house. So, not a message across apparently, but I'm just surprised they try it because, man, everyone's got something usually in their house. I don't think I'd want to break into somebody's house. Once they're inside that door, I think Indiana is one of those that you have every right to defend yourself. So, but most of these people that do that, they don't think. I'm sure, most of them are unfortunate, and there are people that are really addicted to meth or something else, so they're desperate. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, back up to you, Chris, and I think Perry said he had a hard time with the route last time, and it's changing just a bit. I think it's starting to shorten out. AJ1G, the one before him, you were just, I think, about 15 over, so with the low power propagation was wonderful. But always good to hear you back because I don't get to that often. Go ahead, Chris. This is K9GAS in the group.
Okay, and I heard Gary, Perry, WD4NKA. You may have a better copy on Gary than I do up on the East Coast. Not sure. Good morning, Gary. WD4NKA with AJ1G in the group. KK4GZQ. Still looking for Frank. W3MMR. Wondering what happened to him. Anyway, Gary, okay, on feeding the grids direct and just bypassing it altogether, you know, I have no clue what all that involves. Looking at the 250TH yesterday, you know, I did test the other tube. Of course, the filament was way over. And it's kind of interesting on that tube that the grid is, you know, it doesn't come through the base of it. It comes through the side of the tube, or at least I think I saw that right. That's your grid. And I wondered if do you feed it directly to that point on the tube, or? Well, anyway, that's probably a lot of entailed, and I'm not getting into all that right now. No road. Matter of fact, K0 Sugar Fox contacted me and said I probably will need a mic preamp. He said with that Innovonics 222 with the get 600 ohm and all that, that's low level, and he said the same thing on the low level input, Jerry, but we're going to need a mic preamp, and he found me one right here locally in my area. How about that? Anyway, I'm going to try to pick it up this morning. It's cheap, so it's got a little 12AX7 tube in it for the audio. So anyway, tell me what you think about that, Jerry. I won't keep it long here. I just could keep it moving around. Chris, I'm copying you just fine. 73 to Craig, KB2RHR. I know he's off to work, and I just missed Kevin this morning, KA2ZQ. You know, he was up for a long time. So anyway, I'll keep it moving around, guys. Just enjoying running the Ranger here. I haven't been on it in a while, and kind of reminded me of a couple years back when this was about the only tractor I had in the house. So anyway, here comes over to you, Perry, and Gary is out there. WD4NKA is there as well, Perry. W3MMR with the group. Here's KK4GZQ. Good morning.
KK4GZQ in the group W3MMR. I know there was another breaking station in there, and I did not hear Gary. I'm having a rough time with some folks here this morning. I'm going to throw on the WebSDR. Because I've been like you lately, Kevin. I've been trying not to use the WebSDR if I can help it, and go back to more traditional operating without, WebSDR, which is great. I think WebSDR is awesome. It really helped me with my noise level. I was having those noise issues with my neighbor. Because a lot of the times I wouldn't even have been able to operate here on 75 meters because of how loud it was here. So it has its uses, that's for sure. But lately I've been trying to not use it. And good morning to you, Gary. WD4 Never Kiss Alligators. I'll throw on the WebSDR, and I'm sure I'll be able to copy you there. It's always great that you get in there, Gary. I love hearing you in the mornings. And I don't know, I think my father probably scooted down the band then to his slot bucket group down to 3745. I thought I heard him in there too, but we were, obviously real close here, about 30 miles away. So I have a hard time hearing him here first thing in the morning, unless I use WebSDR. So nevertheless, I'll turn it over to Gary, and then Gary, you turn it over to Jerry, K9GAS, and drag your feet for a second. We'll see if we can pick up that other breaking station as well. WD4NKA in the group from W3MMR.
a station over there. K9GAS, you sound pretty good down here yourself. That Johnson is doing okay. Modulation is not real sharp and correct. Ranger. I had one myself many years ago, back in the 70s or 80s. And it was maybe pick one up if I can find one that I can afford. Those things are like having gold in Fort Knox. Every time I turn around, people want more for them. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn over to up to this point, I'm in hearing people. K9GAS.
Okay, sorry, I'm not hearing him at all. I just don't have any coffee on Gary this morning. There was a J3 breaker in there. Is this the J3? Or, yeah, is there the 3 calls? Breakers, K9GAS.
I was trying to break in, if you're talking to me, N3JI down here in Texas, over.
Oh, N3JI. Okay, yeah, I remember the 3, but you're in Texas. Yeah, go ahead, make one. Send it back my way. This is Jerry, K9GAS. I'm up here by Indianapolis. N3JI. Go ahead and just send it back my way.
Yeah, okay, very good. I think we've talked before. I'm down to band a little bit on the VFO here. All right, just going to drift down a little bit. I just want to jump in here and say good morning to Perry. I've copied him a little bit. I don't know if he's going to get enough on me or not to copy me, but I've tried to get in here and say hello to Perry. He's a little bit too far away from down here in Texas. We traded some Facebook posts here and there, and that kind of thing. I thought I'd try to say hello. And of course, GZQ up there. I hope you're copying. I got a pretty good copy on you. So hopefully you're able to copy me this morning. I'm just getting going here this morning. The Viking 500 is still warming up a little bit, so it may continue to drift down. I can't copy everybody, so I'm not going to hold it. I don't want to be one of those guys, so jumping in from pretty far out. But I'm hearing some of you guys okay. Gary, I'm hearing you just fine. I think we've talked before on 3890. Your call is very familiar to me. So I'll turn it back your way. My name is Joe. I am in North Texas, near Dallas, not far away, and I'm again on a Viking 500 and giving it all I got here. Dipole is at about 40 feet, nothing tremendous. But just again thought I'd try to get in here and say good morning all the way around. So Gary, back to you, K9GAS, and the group, whoever's copying N3JI, Joe down here in Dallas.
Yeah, okay, Joe. No, you're 15 over. Perry, are you hearing Joe N3JI? Okay, yeah, I was wanting to know if he's getting to you, so yeah, that you guys have connection there. Joe, yeah, your nice signal here, the 500 is doing a nice job, so even though it's not warmed up yet. But good morning to you. Yeah, I hear Texas pretty well from my location. That's usually not hard, unless the antenna, I think, KK5IM, his is more east-west. So I have some trouble with him, but most of the others, Jimmy, of course, K5NSN was up here in Dayton, Ohio. We used to have regular chats, and he's now a Texan. I kind of envy him, except during the hot, humid part of the summer, I don't. But anyway, good to hear you. And Chris, he faded just a little bit on me, and yeah, that happened several years ago, but yeah, I tell you, it's getting tough here. There's certain spots in Indianapolis that are the hot spots here as well, and it's always related to usually drugs. But seems like instead of this hurting each other. They're branching out now. Anyway, and yeah, I did hear Frank for short. I think you and him, Perry, or somebody was just there together right after, I think, Craig, or maybe it was Kevin when he turned it. So just a short bit. So he must have gone in just left. And I've heard him down there in that low portion too. I usually go down to that 3630 group some mornings and play on the enhanced sideband. And those signals, they're kind of Illinois and Indiana and Wisconsin, Michigan type close. So usually have a pretty good copy on them. But, and Kevin, you can pick those preamps, even if they're not used at the Guitar Center, the ART. I mean, you can get a brand new one for $60. They're little bitty things, and they got a single 12AX7, but I would try, of course, you're going to have to hook a push-to-talk circuit separately since it's in the mic line, and that's easy. You're just going to put your audio to the plus on that Innovonics input and a ground, and then your PTT line, probably off a foot switch or a hand switch, will separate, go off share the ground on the plug plus the PTT line. And the only thing I'm going to say that my experience caution, if you start feeding that with a preamp, which, yeah, if you were feeding the grid to the tubes, it'd be fine, but it's going to be a hard balance because you still have that mic stage you're going through, and you don't want to hit that with very much audio because you'll have a hard time balancing that. And I would turn that mic line on the 16 down and then bring it up slowly till you find that sweet spot, and you'll adjust, the input-output gains on that thing and balance that up. So it's a little, it's a trick to it, but it's a common practice when you're doing stuff like this. So you'll learn that. So, but boy, you hit it too hard, it'll be worse than what you had. So you got to be careful not to feed it too strong. But, that's what happens when you're going through the built-in mic circuit, preamp and amplifier stage, because you're feeding a strong one through another one, and it's a hard balance. So those things were designed to not have those in between. Most broadcast transmitters do not have an audio stage in them. You're just feeding the modulators. So, and no, don't worry about that. I just mentioned that. I'm not encouraging you whatsoever. And, you can get plenty of help out here if you do. So, but I would just try it that way and keep your expenses down, because I know you're watching that. So that was a good find on that. Just try it that way. If you're going to go to all that trouble, then, go buy a nice mic, a preamp, the Innovonics, feed the grids, and then you'll be like a broadcast station. Sort of a counter of the 610 feed, though. But that's the only thing I'm going to say. And I'm not a very smart guy, so you need to talk to those that know out here. But I will caution you. Yeah, it's a tough one, because I've done that several times. But it can be done. It can. And that, if you want to use the D104 turret, I'm pretty sure the Innovonics has a high impedance feed as well, or has a switch or something like that in there. So anyway, and if not, that 10,000 ohm mic on the 600 ohm line, you'll have to balance, but it'll work. Again, because you have a mic stage, so your preamp would be after the Innovonics instead of before, because that's what you got in the 610. All right, well, anyway, let's see. I was turning it to Chris. And Gary, if you heard me, I was copy this morning with you. I hate to say that, doggone it, but I'm sure the band will change. And stuff like that will slip up here. But Chris, here she comes, and I think, and then it's back to Kevin, then to Perry, Gary, and then Gary, if you would, pick up Joe, K3JI, and he can send it to me. I may step out here. I need to do something personal, so I may miss around without getting too much information. Go ahead, Chris, AJ1G in the group from K9GAS. Yeah, Kevin to Perry. I don't think he heard me, Perry. Yeah, have him turn it to Kevin.
I got him. Chris, Perry's not copying, but I'm next in order. AJ1G with the group, KK4GZQ. Let me make sure I have it here. Okay, I do, and I'll send it to Perry. And that's 73 to you, Chris. Good to hear you this morning. And you got a nice signal coming down. We're you and I are sitting just right here on the signal path this morning. One of the best copies I've had on you. Hello to my friend Joe down near Dallas, N3JI. Joe, it's been a while since I've heard you in there. Great to hear you. And you got a great signal up here. No problem at all, Joe. Copying you. I thought you were maybe closer. I was thinking maybe when I heard the call, I'd just forgotten that you were down in Texas. I thought, well, there's another station in Pennsylvania blasting in here. So doing a good job, Joe. Perry's doing real nice. Perry's good and forward, and I'm still wondering what happened to Frank. And then we heard, I think Gary said that he was just going to come in with one and done. So if we end up skipping Gary, I'm pretty sure I heard him say that. But I'm going to pass it on along to Perry here. Anyway, Jerry, that is an ART unit that he found over here with the 12AX7. And okay on wiring another PTC circuit. I mean, this is... I'm not trying... Well, number one, I'm not trying to make this thing sound like a broadcast station. I've never, ever wanted to do that. It's not my intention. My intention is to get it narrowed up enough to be able to operate it without getting horrendous emails and remarks from people out there. That's the reason I'm doing this. Is to try to operate it in a fair manner. So, as far as broadcast, no. I'm not looking to all that. But Jerry, that is the unit I found up there. It's an AR, or Steve found. It's an ART. I can get it for $25. It's like new. Not sure if I really need it or not. I don't know. I'm starting to get really confused and aggravated with all of it, to be honest about it. I just want to get the darn thing on the air and use it like Joe and Charlie and all the rest of the guys with the 610s do. So it's getting awfully complicated for a guy that's trying his best down here to try to keep up with all this crap. Anyway, coming up to you, Perry, W3MMR on the golf, KK4GZQ.
KK4GZQ, W3MMR. Let me make sure I got it. All right. Well, good morning, Joe. Joe, yeah, I got a good company up here, boy. I know it's a hell of a trip for us to make it, Pennsylvania to Texas and vice versa. But even with my hellacious noise level, buddy, you're making it over it. So, the wire, I think you said at 40 feet in Johnson 500 is doing great. It sounds phenomenal. So real good. Great to talk to you. Great to finally work you here on the air as opposed to working you on Facebook. But it's great to hear you, buddy, and I'm glad you got on and be anxious to It'd be great to hear you more. So feel free to jump in. Like the guys were saying, Jay jumps in here all the time. I can't remember what the hell is Jay's call. I can't remember off the top of my head what Jay's call is. I know Jerry. You probably already know, but Jay always comes in here real good. He gets in here real often, and so it's good to hear you, Joe. And what else do we got here? Again, Gary, thanks for the compliments on the pictures of my station that I post online. Yeah, I had fun doing it, you know. And I enjoy just seeing everybody else's stuff online as well. You know, it's good to see, you know, the AM community is alive and well. And social media, you know, a lot of people talk bad about social media, and social media definitely has its downsides. But as far as this hobby goes, I really think it's helped out the hobby of amateur radio. You know, especially like, you know, younger people just stumbling across this stuff online, and you know, you never know, it could spark someone's interest, and you know, get somebody to go out there and get their ticket. And I have a lot of friends in the 11 meter community. I come from the 11 meter community. I'm proud of it. I don't, you know, I introduced a lot of people to, you know, broadcast quality audio in the 11 meter community, and did a lot of work. I run a Facebook group dedicated to that, and getting people to sound really good on 11 meters. And when people see how, you know, because it's no surprise, and it's no secret that, you know, ham radio has a stigma and a stereotype, and all ham operators are smug and this and that, and we all have an attitude, and we all look down and point our noses up at 11 meter operators and this, that, and the third. And I tell a lot of my friends that, I say, you know, the sideband groups can be really cliquey, I said, but the AM community is so welcoming and so helpful and so patient, you know, and it's a completely different world than anything that people have ever heard, you know, about, you know, the complete opposite of all the negatives anybody's ever said about ham radio. Because I've been, you know, here on 80 meters now for over a year, and, you know, when I first came on, I didn't mention to anybody, you know, oh yeah, my father's so-and-so, my father's W3MMR, and I didn't, like, you know, give myself an in, basically. And everybody was so helpful, you know, and so nice and so inclusive, and they really made me feel welcome. And I try to, you know, express that to people, and going back to my point, you know, I try to get people to join these Facebook groups and see the AM community firsthand, and how nice people are, and how helpful they are, and how cool the stations are, and how good people can sound on gear that's 60, 70, 80 plus years old. You know, all the homebrew stuff that people are building, and how smart, you know, the people, you know, a lot of people in the AM community are, and how willing they are to share that knowledge with you. So social media has a real big a part in this hobby, and it really helps out, in my opinion. So anyway, that's all I got for this round. I'll probably stick in here for one more. Yeah, Kevin, my father went down to Slot Bucket. He's down on 3745 with his normal morning crew. I don't know why he broke in and then just decided to run. Maybe he was having a problem hearing Chris or something, and just decided to scoot on down the band. But nevertheless, I did text him to make sure he didn't fall out of the chair and stop breathing or something, or get abducted by aliens. Back over to you, Jerry. I think, yeah, does it come to you or does it go to Gary? I think it goes to Gary and then back up to you, Jerry. So if Gary's still in there, go ahead and pick it up, WD4NKA, and turn it back over to Jerry. And if not, go ahead and pick it up, Jerry. WD4 Never Kiss Alligators from W3MMR.
Yeah, I think he signed up with Joe, but if Gary's in there, send it to Joe, then back to me.
My apologies, Jerry. Okay, yeah, it goes over to you, Joe, and then over to Jerry. I got so many things written down here, it's hard to keep track. N3JI in the group W3MMR.
Okay. All right, very good. Perry, we got Perry.
Uh-oh.
Hey, sorry about that. Technical difficulty here. Here we go. Hopefully you're confident. Anyway, very good, Perry. W3MMR and N3JI. I'm listening to you on one of the SDRs down in Georgia. I'm able to copy it pretty well. So no problems there. I'm hearing you locally as well, but there's a little bit of QSB on you, so I decided to elicit the SDR. Oh, I'm down the band again. Hold on. Here we go. This thing will continue to drift down as Johnson VFOs like to do. But anyway, I couldn't agree more with your assessment, Perry. We got Perry, Gary, Jerry. I got to write this down so I don't mess it up. And there's Joe and Kevin. We're the oddballs out, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't agree more. The AM community here, and, I actually came a long time ago from the 11-meter side as well. Obviously, I still nose around there a little bit. I don't get on there very much, or if at all. Actually, I haven't been on that band in quite a long time. Occasionally, I'll listen when I'm driving a long distance. It's helpful, but that's just about the extent of it from my part. But anyway, I couldn't agree more. I found the AM group here through a gentleman who's now a silent key, and he loaned me a transmitter and got me on the air and a receiver. Got me on the air, and I met some of the guys out here in Texas, some of whom have moved on. They aren't on the air anymore, some of whom are now silent keys, unfortunately several. But I do know Jay, KK5IM, that's who you were talking about. He's got one hell of a station down there in Crawford. I know Jimmy as well, Jerry, so I've got I talked to Jimmy and a lot. Jay somewhat less. He comes in on the weekends usually. I don't know if he's on here during the week. I just decided to turn things on, and I heard you in here, and I heard Kevin, and I wanted to get in. I haven't talked to you guys. I haven't talked to Kevin on the air here since last year. Winter conditions, summer conditions. It just makes it so tough. But I got the 500 going here. I had some issues with it, and I got it back on the air. Occasionally it does pop a fuse. That's what happened a minute ago. It'll occasionally give me a little bit of an arc when the antenna, actually that's what it is, my SWR is a little high. I'll address that later, but sometimes my antenna is near a tree, and occasionally it'll spike SWR, and it pops a fuse here in the 500, but it's a quick replacement. I just jumped, I have a few spares here. I just go in there and take care of that, but I'll have to address the SWR here in a minute. It's not high, it's just a little elevated from what it usually is. But anyway, I'll keep it moving, and again, good to hear you, Perry, and Kevin, good to talk to you again, and Jerry. I think we're it. I think everybody else signed. The gentleman, I think he said it was Chris. I had trouble copying him on any SDR. I picked up a few of them, and I could hear a few words real well. Then all of a sudden, QSB would get them, so I couldn't copy the other fella hardly at all. But anyway, back up to you, Jerry. And again, good to hear everybody this morning. Yes, and again, good to talk to you, Perry, directly on the air, like you said. Trading Facebook posts is not quite as fun. So K9GAS to take it. There's N3JI. Go ahead, Jerry. K4FNY.
Hey, Charlie, good morning. Go ahead, Charlie, make one and send it back my way, K9GAS.
Okay, Jerry, good morning, K9GAS. K4FNY group. Well, I'm just lurking in the background back here, Jerry. First cup of swill. And copying most things pretty good. So the day was in and out. Folks up in the northeast. Well, Kevin, you're going to have fun playing with your Genovonics. That'll sound like a lot of fun. And you the ideal piece of equipment for analyzing. I've got that next 2000. You can attenuate that thing down, that signal down enough, so you can use that as your analyzer. It's pretty good one. Anywho, not being familiar with that intervonics, I don't want to make any comments. Just watch your impedances and you'll be okay, Kevin. So, anywho, I'm running the same old BC610i and the 614 speed amp. So, I'm interested to hear what that sounds like on the air, Kevin. That might be a good thing, and maybe not. Anywho, mine sounds like it does because I'm lazy. And I guess that's, I'll think about something a long time before I make a change. And that being said, I'm going to just start today, tomorrow, in the shack. I'm rearranging my sideband equipment. Still not satisfied with it. But over to you, Jerry. What's cooking up in Indiana this morning? K9GAS on the roof. K4FNY.
Okay, Charlie, pause and see if the other normal crew comes in this morning. Good morning, great signal here. Yeah, I'm anxious to see how that thing does for him, and I know he's going to have to hit that narrower, he's going to, about 18 resistors he's got to replace in 2 caps. Unless they had it that way from whoever they got it from. But there's, I think, 3 options, 10, 9, and 5. Maybe there's a 6 or 7 that they usually put in those, and it depends on the market it came from. But if he's lucky, he comes from a small market that only had the, low pass set at 5 each side, so he won't have to mess with it. It'll be ready to go. So, yeah, and he'll have to do a little bit of change. He's going to have to come up with that foot switch or something, or he can use the D104 and hand push to top, because those boxes don't have that built in. But no, it's easy and be good. Nice learning. And yeah, boy, the flexes and SDRs are great tools for this. Man, you can, that's what I always did, and just had a small antenna with an attenuator on it to monitor that so it doesn't overpower it. If you hook it direct into the receive circuit or, into the dummy load, or even over air, and just I laid my wire right on the transmitter. It was a perfect pickup, just enough so I could see what was going on. But and you can listen to it that way as well. So yeah, those things are nice. That's for sure. Let's see here, and Joe, yeah, very good on knowing all the Texas bunch down there. Yeah, don't know very many, but a few. And Jimmy was, like I said, up here in Ohio for a long time. Him and his family, and they moved down there. I think Don was transferred, so he went down there. They decided to take that. And Weatherford is a nice place. Tornado Alley, though, isn't it? But, yeah, he's a great guy. And I tell you that that antenna switching system he did, boy, has a nice work on that. He's a talented man. He's got a pretty nice shack layout as well. And yeah, Jay always puts a big signal, but not my way. I think because he's set up to talk to Charlie and Bob and all them, so due east. And I'm, of course, north. Man, probably a little northeast from Texas there in Indiana. So, but you're coming in here nice, and the 500 is doing a good job, man. That thing sounds nice. I saw that one on as a eBay, that guy from Nevada, but that's a pretty hefty old price. But it's a nice looking one. But I don't need anything like that, so I was trimming down, so I'm just with a lowly and an SDR here, and a pair of 3500s, but that's what I'm running this morning. That's what I started with years ago. I guess I'm back full circle, but Yeah, that transmitter, if you look at my QRZ, is now in another location, and it looks better in his shack anyway. Let's see, I was sent it to Chris, and Chris is gone. 73's to you. And Gary 73's if you're still listening. So I'm thinking it goes back to you, Kevin, since that's who Chris was turning it to. And yeah, my little drawing there, yeah, it's, you know, I'd never make an illustrator, but hopefully you can see the gist of it, because the X on the negative side is if you run it straight into the, you know, the push-to-talk. You don't use the that negative side if you got to just run audio line from the D104 alone. See how that does, and then after you put it on the ground side. But anyway, we'll work that through when you're working on that. KK4GZQ in the group, K9GAS.
Okay, there's Dan checking in. N3JI also checking in with K4FNY, K9GAS in the group, KK4GZQ. And Dan, I'll pick you up, and I've been turning it to Perry, W3MMR. And Charlie, morning to you. Big signal out of Hog Mountain this morning. Charlie, sitting here yesterday, and I looked over, and my filament voltage jumped up over 5 volts up to about 5.5 volts. I was like, what in the world's going on here? I tried to key it up. No plate current. Looked well, looked over inside, the 250 TH gave up the ghost. And I went ahead and I had another one. I went ahead and put it on a rheostat. Brought it up slow and locked right in here at low voltage for quite some time, probably about 5 hours. And Charlie, this new tube, or newer tube, if you will, which I believe came from W0XV. Liz must have got it from Jeff. But it was new on stock. It looks like a brand new tube. And it, like yours, you mentioned the other day that that your plate current is lower, but you're getting more output out of it. I'm running about 200 milliamp on the plate now. And still seeing, you know, about the same output, but less current, Charlie. Jerry, yeah, I love your, I'm looking at it right now, the little D104 is what I thought it was funny, your little cartoon D104 you put in there, but yeah, I get the gist of it. And it shows exactly what you're doing there. So you're saying not a foot switch will be, if I do use the D104, may not miss a foot switch. Now, Jerry, you need to tell me, do I need a different microphone? And would you suggest a different microphone? So, you know, I'm that far into it now. I've got to go ahead and do what's right. But you know, I feel like I can wire the Inovonics here, no problem. And if there's a different microphone that with the Inovonics that I need, then well, let's talk about that too. I've got other mics here. Anyway, it's just getting pretty complicated. For me it is. Maybe for you guys it wouldn't be, but it's getting into a whole lot of complication, and I'm trying to, like I said, all I want to do is come out here on it like Charlie and Joe and the rest of the guys. It's just my luck. I have to go through all this to get the darn thing on the darn air. So here it comes. Let's see here. I'm going to pick up N3JI. Dan, you'll send it to W3MMR from KK4GZQ. Morning, Dan. Good morning. N3JK. I hope you hear that guy in there. Good morning. Give it another shot. I heard somebody trying to break in this morning. N3JI. I'll take a quick pause. Hey, Gas Man, you want to go over to the call on there? I heard somebody breaking.
Yeah, that was Art, November 4, Julia Kilo. So if you want to pick him up, but he may not be hearing you, so we can relay. But that's who broke in there, Dan. Over.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm gonna step away for a minute. I'll be right back. Turn it to me, but I might not be back. W3MMR.
Okay, go to Wild Rock.
Now my son's on the phone.
Okay.
Workout on me.
He had to step away, Dan. Art, go ahead and pick it up and then turn it to K3 Juliet India, Joe. And then Joe can send it to Charlie, and then Charlie can send it to me. I think that's how we had it. Art, go ahead. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jerry. This is N3JI. Well, I clicked on the rig move and heard Kevin in there. Sound like he's been busy baking tubes. I believe Charlie's in. Joe, I'm not sure if I've talked to you before or not. My name's Art, California Tango. I'm located over in Destin, Florida. Nice to catch you here on 75. Well, it's a little bit cool over here. 47 degrees. So not working with kings today, I'll just say that much. Anyway, everybody's sounding good except Dan. I wasn't getting Dan at all. Sorry about that. Over you there, John. K4GZQ and the group, and then N3JI.
N3JI, it's actually November 3, Juliet India, N3JI. But no worries. I'll answer to anything. Good to hear you if you're copying this morning. I'm on my 500 this morning. I'm going to make this my last one, guys. I need to get moving here. I'm seeing some activity up on 3890. So I might slide up there for a minute and see who's up there. I don't see anything now, but who knows. But anyway, good to get here. That's what I want to say is like I said, say hello to Perry there, and of course Kevin, and some of you guys I've worked before back last year when conditions were better between Texas and the southeast and the northeast. I've been on all summer, but typically stay up on 3890 with those guys and the local group here. But anyway, good to hear you guys this morning, and thanks for bringing me in. I don't know who all is copying here this morning. I'm hearing most of you locally. A couple of you listening on an SDR somewhere to listen. I got Georgia and the Pennsylvania SDR up here. I flip back and forth and the news transmitting. That's great to be able to cheat like that sometimes. But anyway, I'll keep it moving here. You pick me out of the rotation, guys. I will listen out, and then we'll go that way. But real quick for Kevin, yeah, man, when you start running all the outboard processing, it gets complicated to some degree. sometimes you got to fight some RFI and that kind of thing. I originally planned on getting the phone patch wired up for this thing for my external audio chain. But after I did the audio mods on it, I just found that it's fine with the D104 plug straight into it. It's a high bypass. This is an amplified D104, but I bypassed the amplifier, and I've got a 10 meg ohm input resistor on this thing, so it loads down the D104 pretty nicely. So it's just wired straight up that way. So it can be done. There's another option to drive the grids directly with a little bit of an amplifier. W3MMR down here used to drive his Globe King 500 that way in a small audio chain and a small audio going through a transformer to drive the grids of the 572s that he had in his Viking 500 or Globe King 500. I thought about doing the same thing here as well, and I may still do that. You gotta get a transformer and transform the audio output from the amplifier. It's actually a speaker level amplifier, and transform that back to higher impedance to drive the grids of the 572s, and that's an option here. I may explore that later, but for now I'm enjoying it as it is. So back over to you, Art, if you're copying. Again, take me out of the rotation, but I will listen around, and good to be in here with you guys this morning. N3JK, take it with the group, N3JI, 7-3 guys.
K4FNY. All right, and see, we worked a couple of times on AM before earlier this year, and once on 7251 on South and 7. Anyway, you have a really nice signal over here with this. Nice to talk to you again. I'm not sure what the direction is right now, so let me, Jerry, you send it down here, so I'm going to get back to you. Maybe you can sort it out. K9GAS from N3JI.
KK4GZQ. Yeah, I heard you, Joe. And there's another breaker in there, but Joe, you guys double. Oh, okay, KK5IM. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Charlie, I'll let you pick Joe and Jay up, and then they can send it my way, make that easier. And sorry, Joe. Yeah, I got you written down as N3JI, but the brain said K. Good morning to you. And yeah, 5,000 on date on, and switch that backwards, and the 5 to the grids, and the 8 to the little speech amp. Yeah, that is a nice way, but we're trying to keep Kevin simpler. Hopefully, get him going. Go ahead, Charlie. Give it to Joe, and then Jay back to me, then I'll get back to Kevin then. So, go ahead, Charlie. K4FNY, K9GAS.
Hey guys, I'm back. W3MMR.
Okay, I think that was MMR breaking back in. Good morning. This is K4FNY. Good morning, Joe, and good morning, Jay, out in Texas. I don't have a real good copy on the coast just yet, but it's copyable. Yeah, Kevin, that's exactly what I found with this new 252H. It was new in the box. As a matter of fact, it was still in the military packing. But it's running about 210 milliamps. It's putting out about the same amount of power, so it's easier on the mod transformer to do that. The plate current for that final is drawn through the secondary of the mod transformer. So anyway, Kevin, I hope that that piece of that Inovonics is not going to be the straw that broke the camel's back and puts that end of your mobile home down on the ground, so you'll be looking skyward. So every little pound is catching up with you. But it'd be interesting to see what it does to the sound of the audio. But you can always double check your bandwidth with that flex. it's a good instrument for that. I've got an IFR over here, a source monitor. It's really not a good AM monitor. It's difficult to use on AM. It's actually set up for FM and stuff like that. But it will do AM. I've got another monitor in the next room, a COM 120B. But I hadn't set it up because it's darn heavy. So it's sitting there in its transport case. So, Joe, let me get it down to you. I hope you can copy. I'm getting to the bottom of my first cup of swill, and I'm due for a change. K4JCP in the group. K4FNY. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Charlie, I'm going to make a swirl adjustment here. Just have a little bit of dew on twin lead, I guess. K4JCP here now. Yeah. 205 mils. That's close enough to government work. No run Published for 1 week. It's 34 degrees here. Not sure who all is in here. I did hear Jerry, the gas man, and Joe, N3JI up there. And you're solid. And, of course, my neighbor Art's almost making the trip. Charlie. And Charlie, I think you said Perry was, MMR was coming back. And I did not understand who I was supposed to turn it to, so that's my bad. But Jerry's keeping up with this stuff, so I'm going to turn it to Jerry, and he will focus narrowly to whoever should be receiving the golden microphone next. Anyway, good morning all the way around. K9GAS, so get me out of this. K4JCP.
Okay. Well, let's pick up Jay. And, well, of course, we'll get it out of rotation here. And you can send it to Perry, Jay, and Perry can send it to me. And I'll send it to Kevin and back to Dan and back around the horn. We'll try it that way. How about that? Joe, go ahead and pick up Jay, or Jay, you're here, Go ahead and take it, KK5IM, and send it to W3MMR. And then Perry can send it back my way. All right. Jerry. One Art, one Jerry, one Charlie, 2 Joes. And that's who I've heard so far. So good morning, everybody. Across the country. 42 degrees. Arthur Pound and Joe. N3JI, you're blasting in here. We ought to go up to 3,800. I haven't heard anybody again on the frequency in months, or at least in so like one. Anyhow, it's cool but beautiful weather here in Crawford. All the Christmas decorations are up. Every day she has a coffee for me. Everything's fine. At the moment, anyhow. Jerry, you finding Kevin Aeronautics. I've been looking for one of those for years, and I thought I had everybody looking for me. And I had pictures on eBay and everything, and by golly, we did a trip, whatever it was. Anyway, I'm glad Kevin got one. I've got 600 on audience. And I'm not sure. I mean, they were running $400 or so that I found. And I did pass one up beforehand because I just figured I just didn't need to do a estimate kind of budget. On something that sounds as good as this one does anyway. But eventually one will show up. It's pre-wired and patched. The clutch tail is all pre-wired to the unit. There. anyway, let's move it on. Get the contact with everybody and get them straightened out this morning. N3MMR. Here she comes, Terry. KK5IM.
KK5IM, W3MMR, Jesus Christmas, W3MMR. And I heard a 7 station, I believe, breaking in there. I'll turn it to you, Jerry, and then you can see if you can pick him up. But I just wanted to break back in and say 7-3 and say good morning to you, Jay. My son had called me on FaceTime before he was getting on the school bus this morning. He lives down in South Carolina with his mom, and it was good to hear him this morning give me a phone call. I usually talk to him every morning before he heads off to school there, so that kind of got interrupted, but just want to break back in and say 7-3, guys. Have a great day. I'm going to get on out of here. Kevin, I'm going to head to Wawa, grab me a couple soft pretzels and a fresh cup of mud, and then go to Lowe's, get some Lexan for these spacers on the inductors here on this tuner build, and come back and focus on that here on my day off. So 7-3, guys. It's been fun as always, and we'll catch you on here again tomorrow morning. Over to you, Jerry, and see if you can pick up that other braking station, K9GAS in the group. 7-3 from W3MMR.
Okay, yeah, I did hear 7. Who's 7 call? Kind of light, but let's see if we can get you.